Hello everyone, my name's Sonic8 and welcome back to yet another Emblem Tales video. This video is done live, which means I am not going off of a script here. These are just like thoughts coming into my head and just kind of speaking them out, I guess. Like, think of it as like a conversation I'm trying to talk to you guys about, I guess, and just theorizing what we could see from some of the stuff we don't really know about for Emblem Tales. By the way, I appreciate the amount of support you guys been giving me on that. It's absolutely crazy. It's definitely one of the best videos I've probably ever done in a very long time, and I do appreciate all the views, the likes, even the amount of support that I get in the Emblem Tales Discord server. Thank you guys so much, but enough of that. I do want to discuss a couple things that we went over in the Emblem Tales video itself. Specifically the section where I talk about the quote-unquote extra information. Like, I had a specific section of the video for that where we discussed stuff like the auction house, the NPC black market seller, character slots, newspapers, community events, all stuff like that, right? So there's a couple things I've just kind of listed down a little bit on this notepad here, so I can just kind of not only have myself to remember, but also some stuff that I do want to talk about in regards to the information that we have. If you guys don't know, like, the whole purpose of the Emblem Tales video was to just give as much information that I personally found and researched as possible, and I'd still say that's in good standards. Like, I'm pretty sure that's almost everything we know about Emblem Tales from like everything that I found, like from their streams, Discord. I think, well, probably not Discord. I didn't look into it that much, if at all, but for the most part, I think I've got everything down. I think I did a pretty good job covering everything, but there are a couple things that we don't know too much about from the video and that I've kind of like listed as, you know, not specified or whatever. The first thing I do want to talk about here is the secret quests hidden within the game. I talked about, oh, you know, it's we can get hidden items or even weapons, you know? So we don't know exactly what they mean by secret quests. For all we know, that could be like, this stuff is not easily found. It could be anywhere within the hub world itself, within just the entire world of Emblem Tales. It could be anywhere, right? Being like a cave system, some sort of barren wasteland, anything like that, right? We don't even know how the quest system is even going to work in the game. Not to mention, of course, what it'll actually give, you know, maybe like it could be tied into the whole hidden objectives for races that we talked about in the video as well, because that's also confirmed to be a thing. So maybe that can tie in with the secret quests. But yeah, not much is known about them, of course, as the name implies, secret quests. We do know that there's going to be a lot of them in the game. They're going to be in abundance. So there's going to be a lot of things to discover. It's the whole point of the open world environment we have here for Emblem Tales. So yeah, we don't know the true purpose of these secret quests. We don't know what they'll give. We don't know how we're going to actually find them around the world. We just got to, like, I guess, explore around pretty much every corner of the world to see if we can find any of these secret quests. Next thing I actually want to talk about is guilds, right? I've actually heard a lot of discussion in the Discord itself about what the guilds will actually do in the game. And we do know a couple of stuff already. We do know that guilds are going to be a major part of the game overall, for both just playing casually, like killing enemies, PvE, and then also for player combat, PvP. We know that's going to be a very big impact on the game as well. We do also know there's going to be a leveling system. The guild's progressively going to get leveled up from probably doing just various activities relating to guilds, like the guild war that was also confirmed, which is really hype, by the way. I can't wait to participate in that. But maybe again, it's just stuff relating to guild activities, like probably the dungeon raids will probably be a thing to level up your guilds with. Maybe like some niche things, like probably doing exclusive quests for guild leveling, maybe. They get to really do anything with the how you can level up your guilds, or maybe just like trying to recruit more members could also be counted towards guild leveling. But there also might be like a discussion for different types of guilds, you know? There could be mercenary guilds, really. That could be pretty cool. I'm assuming a lot of these guilds are just for like the entirety of the game, you know, just grinding out content, doing dungeon raids, PvP, all that kind of stuff. But maybe there could be some sort of like specific guilds that we could participate in. Again, like the mercenary guilds, merchant guilds for stuff like the auction house, crafting guilds, I guess, maybe. It is up in the air for what they will do with it. And I think it has very good potential. It'd probably be one of the biggest and probably best things about Emblem Tales itself is the guild implementation. I think they're doing a fantastic job already just telling us what they're implementing. So that's cool to see. Next, I personally think this is actually pretty important and one of the more interesting topics I want to talk about. Also not something that's really up in discussion is the game's difficulty. I tried to make this like its own dedicated video, but I don't think there's like enough to really solidify itself as a video. But the difficulty of the game could be, I personally think, pretty challenging. I mean, from what we've seen in the gameplay, from like all the videos we've seen from the official Emblem Tales Discord, we do know that there's going to be dungeon raids, of course. Again, guilds are going to be very important. The enemies themselves seem very intimidating with a lot of variant of attacks, a lot of them being like pretty huge as well. They're like tens of times, well, not tens of times, but like several times like the player size. They're huge. It's pretty crazy. And what this reminds me of is actually Deep Woken, where, you know, when you're jumping into the game for the first time, you're just going into a open world with like no real information to go off of. You're just off there by yourself. And then once you encounter these really big enemies, something like the Sharko, for example, or what is it? The Soul Seeker enemies? I'm not sure what they're called exactly, but you could just encounter any enemy in Deep Woken, for example, and you just like, you don't know what to do. You just try fighting them off with just like simple basic attacks, and it's just not working. They're like deflecting, they're blocking, they're using abilities. Like you're probably going to be scaring the crap out of yourself, and you just don't know what to do. So, but there is one thing I would like to mention about that is that there is going to be some sort of hand holding for Emblem Tales. I personally don't know what that means specifically. I mean, I guess they could be like from the start of the game when you spawn, it was like, hey, you know, these are like the basic controls. Here's how you get your first like item or whatever, something like that maybe, and then the rest you'll probably go off on your own and discover is everything that is to go about Emblem Tales. But like if you do a similar route to Deep Woken like that, I'd say that the game can be pretty daunting or just difficult in general to like play, because I forgot to mention that they have all this like team activities, guild activities, right? Have the dungeon raids, which is like a full squadron of players with variety of different classes. You see like rogue, warrior, acolyte. I think you see a little bit of ranger as well. It's like a whole variety of classes, right? And the dungeon raids themselves can be something like, it could be like a Destiny 2 raid, for crying out loud. It's pretty crazy. But again, we don't really know. All we've seen is just like a whole bunch of enemies spawning in, and then there's just like sneak peek of the little totem that we get at the Hive trailer. So that's something to consider. The guild stuff is like a whole nother basket of worms. You got a whole bunch of things they could do for guilds. Maybe even, I don't think they're going to be locking content behind guilds, but I'd say it's a pretty reasonable chance they might, because again, guilds are going to be very important in the game. And I also want to mention the which I kind of find to be silly now that I think about it, and I did mention in the video for Emblem Tales that Chef Plox in the stream, in one of the stream archives, mentioned that, you know, the whole Kirito mindset kind of thing, which I'm thinking about it. It's just like, kind of out of nowhere to say for your own game, you know, to think that, oh, you can't really solo all this stuff. At least like it's not even possible to solo Emblem Tales. We don't really know. They could be joking, they could be like really serious. I put it in the video anyways because I thought it would be really interesting to like kind of point out. I don't know, we'll see what that'll be like when testing does come in the next few days, which I'm super hyped for, by the way. It's only just a few days away. All right, next thing, we have crafting on this notepad here. I did mention also that there is going to be crafting in the game, and that some of the best gear you can obtain in Emblem Tales will actually be from crafting itself, you know? We don't know how crafting is going to work at all in the game, actually. We don't know anything about how you like gain materials, how the crafting process actually works, if there's going to be like a proficiency for crafting, if you can get better items from like crafting more stuff, which I've seen some games do. I've seen Excursion do it a few years ago with that, so they could probably do something with that. We also don't know if there's like any specific requirements for crafting either. I mean, I don't think it's going to be like that in depth in terms of crafting, you know, like, oh, you need this specific tool, you need this level requirement, you know. I don't think it's going to be like something like that at all, but like, I don't know, there's still quite a few things we don't know about the crafting system itself. I just thought putting it on this list would be pretty interesting as well. And then one more thing I have here is harvesting. So I did mention that harvesting will be in the game. It is actually shown in the Lyncroft trailer, where we see a couple of characters going into like a garden of sorts. I think I saw an interact on there. Maybe like a word that said interact next to the character, and then shortly after they brought out like a random tool, like a hoe or a rake, something like that, and it's just scraping on the garden, like, you know, they're actually harvesting. It could be a lot of things, you know, for harvesting. The main thing I personally would think, and I think it's probably the most obvious, is we're going to be using harvesting to get like crafting materials, right? Not to probably craft like armor or anything. Maybe they could, but I'm more so thinking it could be something relating to food or cooking, you know, because you're harvesting off of a garden, right? And gardens, of course, contain like vegetables, fruits, all that sorts of stuff. So there actually could be something relating to cooking within Emblem Tales that could probably give you temporary buffs for your character, like extra health, maybe a little bit of like, say, strength or intelligence, for example, for like your physical and magical abilities, right? So that's definitely something to consider for as well for harvesting. But the thing is, like, even though it's actually like shown as an example visually, we don't know anything about harvesting at all. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be taking a look into that as well, of how harvesting will work. And at the moment, I think that's it. I don't really have anything else to really talk about. Everything else is, I personally think is pretty self-explanatory, you know? The whole NPC black market seller, I did give an explanation in that, so I don't think something to theorize that would be needed. The newspapers and auction house, I personally think those are also pretty self-explanatory as well. Actually, mounts could be talked about a little bit. I mean, the whole purpose of them is to go around, right? But I don't think they're going to be anything more than just like fast traveling around the map. They can give mounts something else to make them stand out a little more, other than just be like little cars to go around for. Ooh, actually, I just thought of one last minute thing, and that's class balancing. I'm talking the classes that we know already that are coming on release, you know, Brawler, Ranger, Rogue, Acolyte, Scholar, Warrior, Knight, and Lancer. All those classes, if they're gonna be balanced enough to where it's not going to be one definitive best class in the game. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. I think every class is going to be good, just judging from the gameplay videos we've seen. But I thought about something about Brawler specifically that kind of stood me out, is the fact that Brawler 2v1'd or 1v2'd a fight, like an actual PvP fight, right? Pretty crazy to think about, because like there's instances where it was like a 1v2 against Brawler, and Brawler was seemingly holding up on their own, because like Brawler has these abilities where you can just send the opponent in the air, do a little air combo. There's like a guarding ability where they could just, what was it, not negate damage, let me just look this up. Patient defense, enter a state of absolute focus, giving you a chance to parry light attacks you block. I was told that the videos from like the stream archive, like the gameplay videos are like half choreographed, and then like the other half is just like them actually PvPing each other, like the developers in this video. So it's pretty cool to see like the Brawler just kind of block all the opponent's attacks with patient defense to have a chance to parry. I don't think the parrying actually activated. Doesn't really seem like it, because they didn't really do an action in between blocking. But the Brawler blocked that, and they used an AoE attack to get them to spread out. From just like that little interaction alone, and from Brawler actually being really combo heavy, you know? I personally think Brawler is going to be one of the more better classes in the game, for real, like in terms of the game overall, in terms of PvP and PvE. I'm not sure about PvP. I have no clue about any of these classes for PvE, but it really does intrigue me for like some of these classes have like really definitive abilities that could really like turn the tables for some of the balancing in this game. Like some classes could be better than others. I still don't think that's the case, but it is something to consider about for this game, considering this game is revolving a lot about those classes as well. A whole lot of diversity and teamwork and all that. Yeah, with that, I'm pretty sure I covered everything I wanted to talk about. So yeah, let me know what you guys prefer. If you guys prefer me to do scripted videos where I just kind of like write down what I want to talk about and then just speak those words out to you guys, or would you rather me to do it live to do it more like a, I guess more of a personal way in a sense, and then just have like my thoughts kind of, well, I still have what I want to talk about in like a notepad so I can help me remember, but you get what I'm talking about. Do you guys prefer like me either doing a script or doing it live? Let me know in the comments. I would like to know your feedback on that. But other than that, I think that is all I wanted to talk about. Hopefully you guys found this informative. Not sure if any of you guys will find this entertaining, but if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel even for more Roblox content and definitely more Emblem Tales content in the future. My socials, my Twitter, Twitch, all that stuff will be in the description down below per usual if you want to check those out. And also, of course, be sure to check out the Emblem Tales game and socials in the description as well for you guys to check up on updates when things get announced and for you to also be prepared for when the game launches. So, with that being said, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, of course, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.